Hi there and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at my first impressions of Spelunky 2. There is a certain amount of peer pressure both in the gaming industry and for gamers in general. It's often the way that if you do or do not like a certain game, then you are deemed not cool. You are judged to be without taste, or with regards to reviews, lacking the credibility to have trusted judgment. Spelunky 2, I fear, is one of those games that people may very well be judged by. The original Spelunky was released back in 2013. It received a lot of praise and became an almost instant cult classic. Having never played the original, I approached the sequel without expectations, preconceptions, or feelings of nostalgic obligation. Spelunky 2 is best described as a procedurally generated platform dungeon crawler explorer with permadeath. I know I'm gonna be in the minority here, but I honestly don't like it. I think in this case it's more a combination of my personal preferences and my capacity, but I found little enjoyment in this game. Spelunky 2 follows the pretty standard roguelike formula. You begin in a procedurally generated dungeon environment where you explore, you search for treasure, find secrets, kill monsters and eventually get killed. Then you do it all over again in a different procedurally generated dungeon. Now, I was someone who was initially very resistant to the roguelike and roguelite formula, but over the past couple of years I have learned to embrace it to the point where it is now one of my favourite game genres when it is done right. Children of Morta, Risk of Rain 2, Slay the Spire, Rogue Legacy, all examples of games hinged around this genre that I thoroughly enjoy. In fact, my number 2 pick for games of the year was a roguelike. It's an addictive and engaging formula, ending a run only to immediately start a new one knowing you'll get just a little bit further. Spelunky 2 just didn't have enough of a feeling of progression for me. It lacked the propensity to make me want to try again, the very core characteristic these games are built around. Although some of my attempts were better than others, I never felt that each individual run was long or rewarding enough. The game just felt awkwardly difficult. There's simply too much jeopardy on the screen at any one time. It felt like the intrinsic difficulty of the game had been artificially upped with additional perils and enemies. While I'm painfully aware that part of this problem comes down to my skill or lack thereof, I'm equally aware that I won't be the only one. I can see this game appealing to players who find the Souls-like games immensely rewarding. Similarly to those games, there is no difficulty option, no adjustment that you can make to find your own sweet spot to enjoy the game challenging in direct relation to your ability. If you're one of those people who likes throwing yourself at a wall repeatedly until it breaks, then feel an enormous sense of achievement wash over you, then you'll probably love this. Personally, I don't have the time, the patience, or the inclination. After a couple of hours of dying repeatedly in increments of around 1 or 2 minutes, I resigned myself to the fact that I would have a lot more fun playing something completely different. I can't stress enough that the game is not bad. The graphics, while nothing spectacular, are simple, bold and attractive. The controls and character movements are extremely responsive. Inertia feels on point. The central mechanics are well thought out and implemented. I just don't like it. It's usually fairly easy to remain moderately impartial when approaching a review. Spelunky 2 seems like an extremely divisive title. The majority of people going into this will either be fans of the original or know exactly what they're getting into and relish every second of it. But there will be a section of consumers who may pick it up on a whim or due to an overwhelming positive feedback from the majority and end up either loving or hating it. If you've read this far in the review, you'll probably already have a good idea of whether you will enjoy Spelunky 2 or not, so just go with your gut on this one. That's it for this video. Thank you for taking the time to watch. As usual, if it's been useful, please take the time to like, follow and subscribe. You can also check out and bookmark our website www.enrd.cc. In addition, follow on Twitter at Ashra1 for live giveaways, offers and news as it happens. That's it for this video. Until next time, goodbye.